Crash Bash. In true Crash fashion, Crash Bash opens with two cosmic floating heads bickering. Aku Aku, everyone's favorite Mascan Island dad figure, who's all about peace and harmony. Uka Uka, Aku's evil twin, skull-faced, fiery, and really into domination and explosions. They're arguing about the whole good versus evil thing, and they decide to settle it the most logical way possible. Let's make our mortal minions fight in minigames, to the death. Each brother picks 3 champions to represent their side in a tournament of party game style mayhem. They battle it out in a bunch of arena style minigames. Eventually, one side wins the tournament. Everyone immediately forgets about the whole cosmic battle of good and evil and goes back to smashing crates and bouncing on pogo sticks. Next on the list, Crash Bandicoot, the Wrath of Cortex. So we open up on Dr. Neo Cortex, once again doing what he does best, complaining, failing, and plotting evil things. After his latest defeat, he's feeling pretty defeated and is having what we can call a full-blown villain midlife crisis. Enter the villainous crew meeting. Uka Uka, the grumpy evil mask from Crash Bash, and his newest creation, Crash Bandicoot, a bigger, buffer bionic Bandicoot built to do what Crash does, but better. But Crunch isn't just buffed for fun, no, they plan to power him up using the forces of the elementals. These aren't your friendly Captain Planet spirits. We're talking about evil elemental masks that control the powers of fire, earth, water, air. Uka Uka releases them from their ancient prison, because why not? That always goes well. And suddenly, the whole world is falling apart. Volcanoes erupting, oceans flooding, wind going full tornado mode. Our boy Aku Aku senses the disturbance in the force, okay, the elements, and is like, Crash, you need to fix this. Again, please. So Crash, with Coco, who's doing the tech stuff, and Aku Aku by his side, sets off on another quest through warp rooms to shut down the elementals and stop Crunch from turning the planet into a flaming, floating, windy, muddy mess. Crash naturally defeats each version of him, neutralizes the elementals, and turns Crunch from a mind-controlled rival into a cool new buddy. After Crunch is freed and all 4 elementals are sealed back into whatever magical lockbox they came from, Cortex and his crew try to flee, but like clockwork, they fail. Cortex ends up screaming while falling into some sort of void or explosion. You know, the usual ending for that guy. Crunch joins the team and everything is chill again. At least until the next time Cortex picks up a lab coat and says, I've got a plan. Crash Bandicoot, the huge adventure. Dr. Neo Cortex, ever the overachiever in bad ideas, cooks up a new plan for world domination. This time, he's got himself a planetary minimizer, basically a space laser that shrinks the Earth down to the size of a grapefruit. People are freaking out, and Aku Aku's like, okay, Crash, we need to unshrink the planet before everyone falls into a coffee cup. Turns out, the only way to reverse Cortex's cosmic shenanigans is to collect crystals. Of course, from all over the now micro-sized Earth. Crash eventually makes his way to Cortex's very dramatic space station, where Cortex is once again talking to himself and pretending this is all going according to plan. Spoiler, it's not. Crash defeats Cortex in a final boss fight, grabs the last crystal, and Coco uses it to reverse the laser's effect. Earth reinflates like one of those little foam dinosaurs you put in water, and everyone cheers. Probably. Cortex gets stuck drifting in space like a frozen pizza with a grudge. Earth gets big again. Cortex ends up floating in space, probably shouting, "Curse you, Bandicoot!" Crash Bandicoot 2, N-Tranced. This time, it's not Cortex pulling the strings. Well, not directly. Instead, the mastermind is a new villain, the sinister, hypnotic, literally trippy. He's an evil egg-shaped dude with a swirly staff and big hypnosis energy. N-Trance works for nefarious Tropy, aka the cranky time travel guy from earlier games, and has a genius plan: hypnotize Crash's friends and turn them into evil minions. Eventually, Crash goes toe-to-toe with both N-Tranced and Entropy in a trippy time-bending showdown. Crash beats the baddies, unhypnotizes the crew, and restores order to the multiverse. Crash Nitro Kart. One peaceful day in Crash's world, a freaking wormhole opens up in the sky and yoinks up Crash Bandicoot, Coco Bandicoot, Crunch Bandicoot, and also, inconveniently, Dr. Neo Cortex, N-Jin, Entropy. Yep, heroes and villains all get vacuumed up like yesterday's leftovers and dropped in the middle of an alien racetrack. Welcome to Velo's empire. Meet Emperor Velo 27, the over-the-top cosmic kart king. This floaty little lizard gremlin is the ruler of a massive galactic empire, and he's super bored. His solution? Force everyone to race for their lives in the galaxy's most intense kart tournament. Winner gets to go home, losers get turned into something unpleasant. Velo splits the racers into two teams, Team Bandicoot and Team Cortex. Crash earns the right to face Emperor Velo in one last do-or-die race. It's wild, it's cosmic, it's fast. But as always, Crash wins. Team Bandicoot earns their ticket home, and Emperor Velo takes a bit of an L. Depending on the version you're playing, he either accepts defeat like a champ or reveals he's a robot double and flips out. Crash Bandicoot Purple and Spyro Orange. Neo Cortex and Ripto, two egomaniacal bad guys with heads way too big for their bodies, decide, hey, what if we combined forces and took out both Crash and Spyro at once? Naturally, they use dimensional portals to launch a full-on invasion of each other's worlds. Crash and Spyro slowly start piecing things together, hopping through zones, beating minigames, and collecting shiny things like the universe depends on it. Eventually, Crash confronts Ripto and Spyro faces off with Cortex. But the real showdown happens after you beat the final levels and the villains panic, realizing neither of their plans worked. So what do? Naturally, they try to backstab each other, fuse their evil powers, and unleash total dimensional chaos. With portals closed, evil thwarted, and the multiverse no longer imploding, Crash and Spyro return to their respective worlds. Crash Twinsanity. We start off simple enough. Crash is just vibing in Insanity Island, peacefully minding his business, when, bam! Cortex shows up disguised as Coco, which is about as subtle as a clown in a library. Crash, being Crash, doesn't question this and goes along with it until the real Coco arrives and knocks some sense into him. The disguise fails and Cortex's trap backfires spectacularly, launching both of them into a chaotic chain of events. And guess what? This time Cortex and Crash are forced to team up. Two creepy-looking extra-dimensional birds named Victor and Moritz, aka the evil twins, descend from the 10th dimension with big brains and bigger egos. They've got one mission: destroy this dimension and remake it in their own twisted image. Turns out, these psychotic parakeets are Cortex's old science experiment failures. He flushed them away into another dimension like a pair of radioactive goldfish. And now they're back for revenge. Cortex's niece Nina gets roped in and becomes a playable character in parts. She's a goth mechanical armed tween who can swing across ledges and deadpan through all the chaos. And of course, Cortex has a full villainous breakdown, constantly questioning his life choices, being the butt of every joke, and getting dunked on every 5 minutes. It's beautiful. The final act takes you to the 10th dimension, a warped upside-down parody of Crash's world where everything is wrong, terrifying, and vaguely banana-scented. Crash and Cortex face the evil twins. In their twisted lair, Cortex tries to take all the credit. Nina saves the day, and after some absurd boss fights, the twins are defeated and eaten by a giant mutated Crash from the 10th dimension. Yes, evil twin Crash exists, and yes, he's horrifying. Crash saves the day. Cortex kinda helps. Everyone goes home. Cortex tries to kill Crash one last time and fails in spectacular fashion, getting stuck inside an iceberg, while Crash and friends just vibe in the sun. It's poetic, it's dumb, it's perfect. You ready to roll into the next one? Crash Tag Team Racing. Story kicks off when Ebenezer von Clutch, a German cyborg theme park owner, yes, really, puts out a distress call. His beloved racing-themed amusement park, Motor World, is falling apart. Someone stole the park's power gems. Crash games really love crystals and gems, and without them, he and the park are basically toast. Crash, Cortex, Coco, Nina, Crunch, and the rest of the dysfunctional crew show up mostly because they heard the word race and are petty enough to compete for the deed to the park. Yup, the winner of the big race gets ownership of Motor World. So naturally everyone is ready to throw hands and wheels. You've got your classic kart racing setup, but then, boom, you can clash your car with an opponent mid-race and turn into a Frankenkart with one player driving and the other firing an over-the-top turret. It's like Mad Max meets the Muppet Show. You get one final epic race, and depending on how well you've done, the game wraps up with Crash, possibly in charge of a theme park.